Hi, we're back and we're working on accessibility package, step number 6. This is basic site branding. So we talk about this page that we're on. It looks pretty bad. It does not look good. So first of all, click back to the builder so we can access our components. And these color combinations are very difficult to read. They're not user-friendly, and this is something you would want to check with your contrast checker we've talked about in previous steps. So what we're asking you to do is go up to this on the top left, this paintbrush. It says theme. And if you don't see the option of that I'm going to look for, you might have to go back. So you might be somewhere else, and then you're going to go to colors. And under page background, I want to change that. So I've given you a code, an RGB code to use. I'm just going to type that in here. I could paste it as well. So you see the background's changing. Oops. And we're going to change this to 0. Add my parentheses back. I want to change the transparency to 0.8, which is the code that I gave you. And so now we can see the background color has changed. Okay, so it's actually, I call it out in there saying it's soft gray. It's not, but if you go back up here, you can change it to more of a very soft gray. I'm going to just pull this down, the transparency. So you can adjust that color and it'll be more readable. And then the other thing is this is a component. You can see when I click on it, it says rich text. But when I click just outside of that, you see how it changes on the top? All of a sudden, it doesn't say rich text because now this is the section. So when you click outside the border, you're in the section. So I'm going to click it. And then on the right, it says section. So I know I'm in the section. It's showing that I just have one column. But if I go to section style, I can change the color. Okay. So if I change the color, then I might have to change my text. But right now, for this video, I'm just going to change it to white. That looks good. And then I can also go through other color combinations. Maybe I want to change it. It's just affecting this one section up here. And now down here, we have different components. We have a tab component. We have the rich content editor, but then clicking on the outside takes me to the section. So you'll go and use some of the tools that we talked about in earlier videos where we talked about color contrast and find the right color contrast you want and set them in here. Now, again, remember, if you change something, then you may have to adjust your text. So this one, I'm going to change just to white, all the way white, check the transparency up there. And there we go. And so if I preview it like this, it looks much better. It's not jammed up against everything. That's something that you can work on. So I want you to try different options to see how the text appears against the new background or the sections and see if it's easier to read. And there's a couple tips. You want to use consistent colors throughout. Let's go back to the builder so we can see our components. Up here, this affects the entire site. So whatever you do here will be reflected on the full site, but sections are also done separately. That is just on this page. So you want to use these consistent colors. So whatever colors you end up using in sections or color palette, you want to stick to that through the full site. You want to use your contrast tools to help you. Looking at this page, it's like this top line is really jammed up, and I did this on purpose against the top, and it may be difficult if you were using a screen magnifier to see the difference between what we have here and here. So one of the options you can do is you can go into these rich content editor text boxes. I am going to add some padding at the top by hitting enter and do that across the sites, and it's going to improve readability. So you always want to keep in mind you got to have some padding in between for navigation. Someone's using JAWS navigation or some kind of magnifier. So right now I'm going to do that, and I want you to go do that and make those changes, and let's improve readability and visual clarity. And then I'm going to go next to the Alt Text Practice tab when you're ready.